the way I have stage fright right now. Hi besties, I just wanted to jump in for 2 seconds before we get into today's video and say a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed recently and just ever. It blows my mind that we have surpassed 1,000 subscribers, and I just wanted to say a massive thank you. It really has made my 2023 thus far, and I cannot wait to keep talking books with all of you. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. I love having you here, and I really hope you enjoy today's video. Hi besties, and welcome back to my channel. Today, as I'm sure you have gathered from the title, we are going to be trying annotating for the first time. The extent of my annotating in the past has been 15 tabs max, all the same color, predominantly marking spicy scenes or like pretty sentences. I've also only ever tabbed 2 or 3 books out of my whole collection, one of which being Midnight Kisses by Janine Benedict, and as you can see, the extent of my tabs is not particularly far, and as I said, most of them are marking spicy scenes. Anyway, so today, or tonight rather, I wanted to sit down with a book that I knew I was going to love, and I wanted to properly attempt annotating. I want to attempt the tabbing, I want to attempt the highlighting, I want to attempt the drawing, I want to do all of it. So I've decided to pick up Rewrite Our Story by Kat Singleton. I think this one is going to be beautiful. I think I'm going to love the book, and so I hope the experience overall is going to be really positive. So to prepare for this experience, I've picked up a whole bunch of tabs. I think these ones are just like the first ones that come up when you search for them on Amazon, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to choose like a color palette to match the cover of this book, because we have to be aesthetic up in here. And I'm also going to go through and pick out some pencils and potentially some highlighters, but do not hold me to the highlighters, because the perfectionist in me, the commitment issues of mine, probably will not commit to highlighters, because that's just so scary. Like, what if the line is wonky? I can't undo that. That's so terrifying. Anyway, so without any further ado, let's get into annotating the first few chapters together. So far in this experience is that I need a code for my tabs. Now I think what I've come up with is I'm gonna do orange, that's not orange, they're like orange and gold for like family and friend moments, because I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of moments with like Pippa in the present and with Marigold's family and even Kate's family in the past. So I'm gonna tab those in orange and gold. Then for the like romantic, cutesy, lovey-dovey romance moments, you know, I'm gonna allocate those to the light pink and the like salmon pink, and that's gonna be in the present, I think. And then for the past, I'm gonna use this like more muted pink, because it's like the past, but it's still cute moments. I don't know, I haven't like settled on that, but I'm going to use the pinks for like cutesy moments. And then I think I'm going to use the 2 greens for like angsty, sad, tear-jerking moments, because I know there's quite a few of those in this book. And thus far I've also only drawn like little pictures next to some of the things I've tabbed. I don't know if I'm going to write in it. I kind of like the idea of just drawing what's being described or drawing how I'm feeling, because I don't know, my handwriting can be kind of hit and miss sometimes, and I think it's just a lot cuter to kind of draw what's happening. I will tell you how I'm feeling about the experience. I think it's really nice. I was a little bit apprehensive to do this because I thought it could kind of take away from my reading experience, but I think it's making me feel like really cute and kind of cozy, and like I'm just enjoying it, and I feel like it's making me pay attention a bit more to what's actually being said on page, because sometimes I can like skip things and like I just kind of brush over things, but I feel like having to have that attention to detail, I'm sort of like taking it in a little bit more, and I won't say treating it like it's an English assigned book, but I don't know, I'm enjoying it so far. Hopefully I keep that same opinion for the rest of it. I'm also loving this book, by the way. Oh my god. Hello. Oh my god, that's so cute. There's a rainbow. Hello. I probably haven't updated as much as I should have because if you couldn't tell, I'm sick. I've been sick for a few days now, but I wanted to come in with a quick update now that I'm feeling a little bit better and say that I have added a new color to my tabs. Yeah, I've added another color to my tabs. I've added this like dark red. It's like a dark red, I'd say, for like moments where I have butterflies and just like, so the way I've been using my tabs, I've been using them as sort of like a spectrum. So the dark greens are like the really angsty, like I want to cry moments, and then the light green is like, oh okay, that's sad but I'm not tearing up over it. And so I felt like that with my pinks as well. I'm like, I don't have an intense enough tab, so I need a new color. I was just like happily reading along, and then there's this scene in the past where Pippa and Marigold are making cupcakes and Cade comes in and he's not allowed to taste the icing, so he like dips Marigold's finger in and then licks it off her finger, and I needed a new color tab for that moment. Like the butterflies on my stomach were a little bit intense, and so I had to get a new color, and yeah, I got the dark red. It's like a very roundabout way of telling you that I have just added to my tab colors, but otherwise I'm really enjoying this book. I'm loving it so much and I can't wait to keep reading it. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm gonna have to give you like a big in-depth convince you to read it when I get a bit further in, but yeah, it's really good. I have some unfortunate news for you, and that is that I'm still sick and sounding like there is a roadblock on my sinuses. But I want to talk to you about Rewrite Our Story by Kat Singleton. The emotional roller coaster this book has sent me on, the emotional turmoil it has put me through. I've cried, I've laughed, I've questioned why I couldn't grow up on a mountainous country farm with a hot cowboy as my next door neighbor. This book has put me through the ringer and I've loved every moment of it. Now I do have some notes on my computer, so if I'm looking that way, that is why, because my brain, she's not at her most efficient right now. Rewrite Our Story by Kat Singleton is a small town country romance following Cade and Marigold from when they first fall in love as teenagers to when they ultimately fall apart and then when they come back together again. It is a childhood friends to lovers, best friends, brother, second chance romance, and it is incredible. In the past, Cade and Marigold are running around under the summer sun, experiencing love for the first time and honestly just living their best lives. They're out camping camping, quad biking, trail riding on their horses, making out under the stars and in the stables, and it's really just a perfect summer. That is until reality hits when Cade winds up breaking Marigold's heart, forcing her out of small town Sutton to go and chase her dreams of becoming a romance author. Fast forward like 6 years and there has been a pretty life-altering event which forces Marigold back to Sutton and back onto Cade's family's ranch. There's a lot of hostility, a lot of angst, and a lot of resurfaced anger as they try to kind of fight this innate connection that they've always had to one another. Let me just say, if soulmates exist, Cade and Marigold are the definition. I also just want to mention that while I like summarize the plot as like past and present, the past and present chapters are interwound. So like one chapter will be in the past, the next chapter will be in the present, past, present, and so on. And I think it is done so expertly. There is a really beautiful parallel between the two plot lines, which I'm not going to tell you about because I don't want to spoil it. But it's really done fantastically. So while miscommunication is the kind of driving factor towards their split, I believe it is wholly justified in this book. Again, I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I'm the biggest hater of miscommunication, but trust me when I say it worked in this book. This book is the epitome. This book is the prime example of how you write a second chance romance. This is it. It's so freaking good. It is perfect. While I still have 30 pages left to read, I can tell you right now that it is going to be a 5-star read. It will be in my favorite books of 2023 because it is just so perfect, and there is so many little moments where you really do swoon for Cade and just like the entire story in general. So yeah, I'm gonna go finish this book right now. Oh, I can't believe I'm gonna finish it, and then I will come back to you with my actual thoughts on annotating, maybe show you some of my favorite annotations, and yeah, oh my god, I can't believe it's almost over. Well, I've finished Rewrite Our Story by Kat Singleton. I've depleted my tabs a lot. There is like not many left, which for good reason. I think I'm gonna sit on it for a minute. I might do some annotating, get my pencils out. I'm gonna sit on it for a minute and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk to you about everything. Now, I'm not gonna waste any more of your time telling you to read this book, but just know this is not the last that you have heard about me and Rewrite Our Story. I will talk about this book until the cows come home. So, annotating and tabbing. I honestly think this was really fun. Am I going to be tabbing every single book that I read from now on? No. Will I be pulling out the tabs again when I think the time fits? Absolutely. If I could describe this entire experience in just one word, it would be wholesome. And maybe that is kind of because this book is just really wholesome itself and very, very cute. but I had a really good time. And I definitely think there's a lot of details in this book that had I not been paying such close attention, I would have missed. And yes, most of my annotations just turned into drawings of marigolds, but I don't care. They're really cute and they play a pretty big role in this book. Overall, I will definitely be doing this again, but maybe only with books that I think have a bit of a deeper meaning, like Rewrite Our Story did. And for example, I will be tabbing Say You Swear, which I'm going to be starting very soon. If everything goes to plan, I'm going to be starting it tomorrow afternoon, which gotta keep all of you happy. So yeah, I think that kind of sums it all up. I did record all of my favorite annotations and put them in this video for you. I will also, of course, do a dedicated Instagram post and review to this book. I'll post all of my pretty annotations. However, I'm waiting until I can find some marigolds in bloom, which is proving to be a little bit tricky because we're heading into winter here in Australia and not many flowers are out and about. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. It was a little bit of a different one, but let me know if you enjoyed it because I had a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!